Hello, my name is Simon Jacobs. Welcome along to episode 120, not that I'm counting, of Adventures in Pop. You are most welcome, and actually, you look lovely today. You've had obviously a day in the sun here in the UK. And if you're enjoying this series, do think of subscribing because it's just a very nice thing to do, and I'll be ever so appreciative. Thank you. In this episode, I want to talk a little bit about putting yourself out there, the fears of, it's the fears of the unknown, of who's going to notice you doing weird things, out there on the internet, on YouTube and other places. This has come up recently. It's been one of those things I've been thinking about, and then a couple of triggers have just got me thinking, and let's spend a few minutes and then I'll leave you to your lovely weekend. But in this country, you may know Catherine Tate. She's a comedian. She's got a new comedy vehicle out on the BBC called, I think, Queen of Oz, and I'm not really here to tell you whether it's really good or really not good. I've watched one episode. And what I really like about Catherine Tate is she is prepared to put herself out there in a most unflattering way. She's prepared to be disgusting, grotesque, for the sake of the comedy. And she's kind of therefore fearless. She is playing a revolting character who veers from, pretending she's being extraordinarily polite and buttoned up, which is one of Catherine Tate's kind of characters that she does, to being a complete ogre, which is another one of Catherine Tate's characters. Anyway, so this isn't really about Catherine Tate, but it's about that lack of fear of putting yourself out there in a way that is probably unflattering. And what process should you go through before you just press the button and there you are forever captured in a way that is possibly grotesque? A friend of mine said to me quite recently, that video, referring, in fact, if you want to go back and have a look, it's the video to Adore, where I'm dressed up as a rather pathetic king with a dressing gown on, holding a broom handle. So that's the kind of thing. So he was kind of saying, wow, really? I was thinking, yeah, that's what it felt like to me. That was the way I wanted it to come across. And actually, right at the very beginning of this little adventure, so going back a few years, when I first released something on YouTube or put something out, I think literally the first release on Spotify, a couple of people said to me, oh, you're very brave. And I thought, not really. No, this is what I want to do. So I've kind of got to do that if that's what I want to do. And I guess where I've got to, and maybe just this is a sign of age and experience. God, I mean, who knows? It might be. Maybe as you get older, you get a little bit less scared of what people might think of you, and you certainly don't get too worried, too hung up on kind of what you look like all the time, because that way lies madness, basically, doesn't it? So I've never been that bothered about it, but I guess to put out videos where you are performing a song that you have written, so it's your words and it's your music and it's your everything and it's you. I guess it does require you just to think, am I going to regret this in 20 years, 30 years, 50 years? Are my children going to regret this when I'm gone? And I think, depending on whether you've got, nice children, I think in every case, absolutely not. I think you've got to do these things. You've got to take some chances. You've got to put it out there. You've got to be in it to win it. Otherwise, what on earth's the point? So I am answering my own rhetorical question by saying, you mustn't be too worried about what people might think, because real artists, I'm sure, don't concern themselves with what are people going to think. They do the thing that they need to do. So that I feel quite strongly about. And okay, where I want to leave this is just to say, if you look back at some of the videos I've posted on YouTube, there are some shockers. So Dressed Up as a King in Adored is one of my favourites. It was fine. But I think let me see, which ones would I not want you to go back and have a look at? I think Water on the Moon is not one of my favourites. I was literally locked down at home going bonkers. So that was probably, not so brilliant. But I've done some really crazy things. Like I did an interview of myself a few years back just because I thought it was funny. And it's not remotely flattering. Both me as the interviewer and the interviewee, horrible. So I'm here to say, if you're putting music out there, if you're putting any creative thing out there, really do it. Do it, press the button, do it, publish and be damned, do it, and don't look back. It's absolutely fine. And the worst that somebody can say to you really is that they prefer, the other thing you did, or they'd like somebody else's art more than your art. Fine. One person's opinion. All right, I'm going to leave it there for now. Just to tell you some good news, there will be a Goldhawk Foxes single coming down the line very shortly, and in just 2 weeks' time, my brand new single is called Strange Alien. It will be out in a couple of weeks, and 21st of July that is, and it is the first new track of new songs from what will be another new album to come. So looking forward to that, and I know that you are too. Lovely to see you. Take care. Bye-bye.